I'm Alyssa Morrison, and I am getting a degree in sports management with minors in math and nutrition. I think one of my best memories, and it was probably one of my first ones, was freshman year mission trip to Miami. Way out of my comfort zone, had to go talk to a lot of people, and I don't like doing that. And it was the last day, and it was actually my birthday, and there was this lady just sitting by herself over, and normally I'm more fit to hang out with kids and not talk serious to people, but for some reason I just felt like I had to go talk to her, and so I ended up going and just sitting next to her, and she just like ended up crying, holding my hand and like telling me all about her life and how she was abused by her ex-husband, and just laid everything on me, and just like she's like, I just want to forgive him. And I was like, I think that was my 19th birthday, so when I like 19, I was like, that's what you think? Like you want to forgive him after everything you just told me? And like she's just crying in my hands, and it was a really cool moment for me because I don't always feel equipped to go talk about Jesus, to go share the gospel, and like I don't always feel compelled to do that. But it just showed me that we don't need to really necessarily do that sometimes. Sometimes God uses us just to listen, like just sit there and literally hold her hand and listen to what she has to say and pray with her, and that's how He can use us. If you're gonna go to CSF, like go and really like dig into it. Don't just make it another thing to do. Don't just like on Thursday nights I'm gonna do this and like check it off the list. But like really go and try to get something out of it. Like meet people there, interact with people, and then like use those people and the things that you learn there and live life the other 6 days of the week. Like I said, just don't use it to check off the list as another thing that you're doing and make your life busier, but really engage and use it to equip you for life. Why I think that's so important is because I think I didn't realize the importance of community before coming to college until I saw it, and I saw how like useful and like how God really moves in it. And so the people that I met through CSF and starting actually living life with them outside of it is what changed me and what helped me grow like throughout college.
Well, my name is Holly Florell, and I will be graduating with a major in business administration and a minor in entrepreneurship. I really saw God working in our mission trips that we took both to Las Vegas and Boston. There are a lot of different times that I think back to those, and I remember Him like, I don't always remember the specifics, but I remember Him providing. You know, there were times that like, you know, we needed something or we needed to be somewhere at a certain time, and like God just came through and everything just fell into place, and like there was no doubt in my mind that, you know, it was God. It wasn't anything that we did to get there. And also just through worship at CSF, just seeing people worship was another really big thing for me, and something that I got a lot out of, but I could always see God moving in that. If I were an underclassman coming in, I would just say, seek God for yourself and figure Him out for yourself. Don't try to find God through someone else or make someone else your own Jesus. When I was, you know, leading DNA groups or, you know, doing whatever it was to try to seek God out, that was when I grew the most, is when it was just me and God. I just want to say thank you. I just want to thank God for this ministry and just how He really worked through it to help me grow in my faith. And also just thank you to the staff and everyone who has helped me grow, and the girls that I got to know through, you know, and the friends that I got to know through this are people who I will be friends with for a lifetime, and that to me is priceless.
My name is Taylor Fikert, and I am getting my degree in art education, K through 12. A few ways that I saw Jesus working through CSF was in the relationships I had. So whether that was the friends that I made my freshman year that carried on through my senior year, or the mentors I have, and even my relationship with my husband Dan was strengthened because of the ministry of CSF and the people that we were able to interact with. Something I would tell underclassmen is to not put so much value into things of this world, whether that's relationships or your school or your friendships. And that's not to say you shouldn't work really hard at what you're doing and be a good student and be a good friend, but when things don't go well, not to like put your identity in those things, so when things go bad you don't know who you are, who Jesus is, because otherwise you'll just be pretty bummed out.
My name is Daniel Fikert, and I will be graduating with an education degree in social sciences, 7th through 12th grade. I'd say the biggest way that I saw Jesus working through CSF was with my involvement in small groups. I got involved with a small group starting, I want to say my sophomore year, and that's also really when I saw a lot of growth spiritually. And then moving from that, I've also continued to be involved in small groups and have been leading a men's group here for the last year and a half. And I've just seen great growth in those guys. I've seen great growth in myself, leadership-wise. And I just think that small groups are a great way for everybody to make deeper connections than you can just at the regular CSF. I would tell underclassmen, just kind of going along with my last answer before, just get involved in a small group, make those deeper connections, because I think it's kind of easy for people maybe to go to the big CSF on Thursdays and get good things out of it and listen to Chris and whoever's speaking and worship. But unless you're trying to really make a deeper connection with the people there who do care about Jesus, I just feel like you lose a big part of what CSF can be. So I would just say, seek out those relationships, whether that's a small group or one-on-one meeting with anybody, and just find those people who are going to be positive influences for you, because they can really greatly change your life.
So my name is Marin Coffey. I will be graduating with a degree in exercise science and a minor in health science. Definitely in the fact that CSF reaches out to people, because I came to college thinking that if you believe in Jesus, you believe in God, you go to church and you take communion, that you're good to go, do whatever you want during the week, we got confession for that, cool. That's not the truth. And CSF, through just the little activities that we do on campus, just brings people in, and that's how I got connected. Even when I got introduced to CSF and then I kind of went away, and then when I came back it was through the same thing. CSF was just come here. Make friends, not just people that are your friends, but in classes. I've been trying to be intentional about that this year, not going to class and being on your phone on your way to class, or in class, talking to the people around you. It's very interesting to find out that people just want somebody to talk to. And also when you ask people those questions and then they ask you back, it's there's an open door right there, and then it's boom, you can share the gospel, and it's so cool.
My name is Marky Sepp, and I'll be graduating with a Spanish major and music minor. I would say that the time that I've most seen Jesus working in the CSF ministry is in our small groups that we do with international students. And you'd think since we're the ones that are supposed to have the most knowledge about the Bible and about God and Jesus, that we would be the ones most teaching them, but they ask just the hardest questions that we think we should know the answers to. Yesterday I got asked, what does salvation mean? And I was just oh gosh, I have to think about this. What does salvation mean? It means being saved, but being saved from what? And I don't know, we answered it, but it was just you just learn so much more just by the questions that they ask, and then I think they learn too. And I just think it's cool how much interest they have in studying the Bible and actually learning this stuff. And I think that can only be Jesus that gives that desire to them. I would say to underclassmen to not be afraid to branch out to meet other people. And I feel I can say that because I'm really shy, so it's been really hard. It's been a growing process for me also. So I know it's kind of hard to talk to new people, but I think it's really important to growing and to ministering to people as well.
My name is Crystal Jones, and I will be graduating with a degree in Family Studies and then a minor in International Studies. I guess over the years there's been a lot of ways that I've seen Jesus at work, but one that really sticks with me is just like the weekly gathering of just a family of believers who comes together and just like encourages each other and loves one another, and I just feel His presence every Thursday when we worship and when we just come together and learn about His Word and who He is, and just even throughout the week when you see other people from CSF, it's just always encouraging to hear what God is doing in their lives. So the advice that I have, I guess, would be to just get involved, go on mission trips, get involved with the international ministry. There's a lot happening on campus, and like the international students are everywhere, so just get to know them and love them. I studied abroad in Scotland with Global Scope, so just maybe think about getting out of your comfort zone, doing that. It was a great experience for me. I learned a lot about the world and myself, and just the brokenness that is everywhere around us. So I would just say get out of your comfort zone and just love the people who are around you.
My name is Sarah Sweat, and I will be getting my degree in sports management, and I also have a minor in marketing management. I would say, right when I was born again, I was praying for godly friendships because I hadn't really had very many of those, and I knew that in order to grow in my faith, I needed people to hold me accountable and people that would build me up. So I started praying for that, and like 2 weeks later I found CSF, and like the outpouring of friendship was just insane, and it was just such a testament to God's faithfulness and that He listens, and it's had a huge impact on my life, and especially my college career. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I would say pretty much every other senior here is going to say, go on the trips, do what you can. And that's awesome. It's really important to do that, and it's important to make yourself uncomfortable. I'm kind of an introvert, so shocker. That was hard for me to do, just to go places where I didn't know anybody and to have conversations that made me uncomfortable. But I grew so much from that. So I would recommend that one. And then the other thing, the trips are awesome, but they're not the core of your relationship with Christ. And the best way to grow is spending time in the Word, spending time in prayer, because you can't substitute that for conversations. Conversations are awesome, but your relationship with God is one-on-one. And the only way to grow is spending time with Him. So I would recommend that to everyone who's coming to CSF, to make the time for the things that are important to you, and don't try to replace it with other stuff that's not going to fulfill you at all.
Anything else that you would want to share?
Thank you.